Welcome back to another video, guys. Today we're working on the mini bike. We finally got some parts for it. We have the motor, a 5-horse flathead rigs from I think the 70s. We've got a rear axle kit for it, just parts I've had lying around. We'll be running a 420 chain, 3/4 inch live axle, and disc brakes. And then we have an electric motor here to run headlight because I figured out a way to make electricity from a motor. So let's get to disassembling it. And yeah, hope you enjoy. So this is the bottom of my swing arm. This is the engine mount plate. This is the front area. I just need it like that, looks cool. Here's the rear end swing arm. What we're gonna do is we just cleaned it up, as you saw. We're gonna drill the engine mount holes, and later on in the video, we're gonna weld up the rear axle brackets. It's gonna look really good. So let me show you how the engine looks in the swing arm. It is heavy, and it's not bolted in, but this is what it'll look like. You may think, this is too huge, it's gonna be too fast for the bike. But the bike is, the suspension is special. It makes it so, instead of being where the motor doesn't move, the motor's gonna move, but the carburetor is gonna be cocked at an angle where it's gonna be cocked where it's gonna sit right where the fulcrum point is. So it's gonna have minimal movement here. The exhaust is gonna come out the back and down the side. And then the thing is, when the suspension compresses and this compresses, it makes the wheel travel longer. It'll make the distance from the front wheel and the rear wheel longer when the suspension is compressed and shorter when it's not. Meaning the heavier you are, the longer the wheel span, or when hitting a bump, the longer the wheel span, ensuring more safety and less chance of wheeling and crashing for safety. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna mark the holes on this, and we're gonna drill them, and yeah, pretty much that. It looks pretty good, and it fits pretty well in here. I made this part before even having the motor, actually. I searched it up, I welded all the parts up. Look at that, it fits fine. So let's get to marking out the holes and drilling it. And I'll see you after this little time lapse. And now we're gonna make the mounts for the bearing carriers. Got it all finished. Now let's assemble them. They're all finished up. Got the carriers all mounted on there and everything. Let's go weld it up to the mini bike and throw on the axle. Let's get to it. So as you can see, we got a front tire for it. We made a little axle hub and everything off camera. Really easy to do. Now what we're gonna do is, I put it all together. We're gonna weld up the brackets for it. They're right here. We're gonna weld them right under the back of this. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty straightforward. Let's get to welding, and I hope you enjoy this little time lapse. As you can see, we finished welding up. If you're wondering why I haven't finished on this side and only on the insides, is because I have to grind down the brackets just a little bit. But this is only for it to be like tested rolling, and then once everything's finished on the bike where we know it works, we'll finish up everything welding. That'll just be an episode of just welding and such. But now let's get the other wheel on and take it for a roll. Let's get to it. And there we go. It's all put back together. I was testing the rolling off scene and it rolls really well. Suspension handles really well in the bumps. Now we'll throw on the motor and see what it looks like. Let's get to it. And there we go. We got it all together. 5-horse motor, rear, front, rear, and rear wheel, suspension and everything. In the next video, we'll get the chain on, we'll get the rear and sprocket and disc brake on. We'll hopefully have a seat and maybe fabricate a gas tank and figure out the intakes. But that's all for the next video. Thank you guys for watching. We finally hit 60 subscribers. Thank you for that. I work hard on these videos and I'm very glad you guys can enjoy them with me. So yeah, see you guys next time and glad you could come and watch.